This is take two. Let's see what this is all about.
It is just overwhelming. There's breaking news seems like every hour now. Things are happening so fast. Before I get into the news with you, I would like to say thank you all for your prayers. As in my last video, I asked you to pray for my daughter and our new son-in-law, Andy. Andy and Kristen were married this past Saturday, September 28th. And so thank you all for remembering them in prayer. Thank you for praying for Judy and me and our family. We appreciate you so much, and we love you so much. And again, I want you to know, Judy and I are praying for you all. Just day by day by day, we pray and pray and pray that God will bless you all and strengthen all of us in Christ in these last days. These are tumultuous times, and the times, it's almost unbelievable. Those of us that are older like me, that have lived already quite a while on this old earth, are amazed. I mean, I can't imagine. If someone would have told me 10 years ago that things would be happening that are happening today, I would have thought there's no way that could be. That just couldn't happen.
I know.
But it's happening. We are seeing things accelerating at such a pace as we see the end times prophecies coming to pass in our lifetime. It's overwhelming to live this out and see it happening. But right now what we've got is a constitutional clash in the United States between the legislative branch of government and the executive branch of government. Of course, the legislative branch is being led by people that are trying to impeach the president, Donald Trump, because of his outrageous behavior. And of course, the executive branch being led by Donald Trump himself, a man that is definitely believes that as far as this country is concerned, and as far as this world is concerned, he is God on earth, walking the earth. He believes that he is. He believes that his will is supreme and paramount above everything. There's nothing more important than that he should hold on to power, that he should be a leader who grows in power, and that he should have his way, that no one should question his will, no one should challenge him, no one should try to check his power. This is the rising Antichrist that we've been talking about on this channel for years now. What we've seen so far has been outrageous. But just you wait. Just you wait. We're going to see even more outrageous behavior, as the Bible foretells, a man who is going to cause astounding devastation on this earth. A man who is going to destroy wonderfully on this earth. He's going to do such physical damage, physical violence to this earth in the days to come, that it is going to make our heads spin. It's going to be so much worse than anything we've seen thus far. But the impeachment inquiry is moving full steam ahead. As you know, subpoenas are being delivered and given to people right now. His lawyers, Jay Sekulow and Rudy Giuliani, are being implicated in these crimes with the president, Donald Trump. His Secretary of State, Pompeo, it has just come out that he was on the phone call, July 5th phone call, that was made between Trump and the Ukrainian President Zelensky, which we got the transcript, the written transcript of that call, and right there in writing it says as plain as day. The written transcript shows that Trump was trying to make a deal to give Zelensky what he wanted if Zelensky would do a favor for Trump and dig into the Joe Biden and his son's affairs and try to dig up some dirt. And if he could dig up some dirt and deliver some dirt, then Trump was going to release the weapons, the money for the weapons that Zelensky wanted. the aid that Zelensky wanted. Well, it ended up that once these things started coming out, then Trump released the money. If you're following the news, you know that all this is mixed up with foreign governments, Pompeo and Giuliani, and probably Jay Sekulow, and God knows who else, Barr, the Attorney General. They were going to foreign countries and trying to make deals, trying to dig up dirt, and trying to get cooperation from foreign governments to help them to dig up dirt on Trump's political enemies. And so it's incredible what's going on. We've never had a president in the United States, as bad as things have been, and we've had some terrible presidents, and we've had some terrible things happen, but we've never had this level of out-and-out total, a government that is totally malfunctioning, a total mess, a totally outrageous set of affairs where no real business is being done at all. At least in the past, there was some semblance of some things getting done. There was some, every once in a while, they would actually pass some legislation and get something signed and get something done. But not now. Now Trump is just all about Trump, period. There's no real governance going on at all. He doesn't have any real people doing anything real. They're all trying to just tear down what's been done before and put everything into the military, build up the Pentagon, and build up the military with more ships, more planes. That's the one thing they are doing. Yes, Trump is doing that. He's doing one thing. Yes, he's building up this military machine so that he can use it.
Yeah.
And he's talking about violence, and he's talking about what he's going to do. And he's trying to, as I say, change the subject, put all the attention on Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and God knows who else, so that he can get the people from looking at his crimes, the things that he's doing that are morally wrong, ethically wrong, legally wrong. He's trying to get all the attention off of himself, but I'd like to focus on just one aspect of this unfolding drama, and that's the fact that Trump is clearly turning to violence as the way to deal with all this. He's calling for the arrest of the people who are bringing these things to light, suggesting that they're spies. Anyone bringing out the truth about his crimes is a spy that should be arrested and questioned for fraud and treason. And then he suggests that they should be executed, as it was in the old days, where spies were shot or hung or executed. He's saying that civil war is coming. Civil war is coming if anyone tries to remove him from office. And furthermore, he wants to bring out the identity of the whistleblower, in spite of the fact that the whistleblower is protected by the Whistleblower Protection Act. He wants the identity to be brought out in direct violation of the law. The law was in place so that these whistleblowers could tell the truth about what's going on. They could report something that they see going on that is illegal.
That's exactly right.
And it would be looked at, and the whistleblower would be kept anonymous so that he would be in no danger, he or she. And Trump wants this person to be brought out into the light so that, let's face it,
dude,
this whistleblower in this day and time, in this climate, would be in danger of assassination by these Trump crazies who are armed to the teeth right now and ready for a war. We know that. This whistleblower's life won't be worth 2 cents if it's made known who he is, because somebody's going to get him. And we know that. We know that. And Trump knows that. Trump knows that. Let me read this news report. On Monday, Trump suggested that Congressman Adam Schiff was guilty of treason, and he tweeted, "Arrest for treason." And a day earlier, he had said he wanted Adam Schiff questioned at the highest level for fraud and treason.
Completely taunting.
Asked Monday whether he knows the identity of the whistleblower, Trump replied, "We're trying to find it out, even though the person is protected by the Whistleblower Protection Act." A columnist best left Bess Levin said, "At present, the only person who's supposed to know the identity of the intelligence official who blew the whistle on Donald Trump is Michael Atkinson, the Inspector General for the intelligence community. We have the Whistleblower Protection Act to thank for that, which safeguards a person from being retaliated against for coming forward with sensitive information, like, for example, that the president was seeking election interference by Ukraine, which was then allegedly covered up by the White House. But as he's gone to great lengths to prove over the last 2.5 years, Trump has little time for the law, which he believes the president has the right to break at his discretion. The most recent real-time example, his reported desire not just to know where the whistleblower got his information, but to punish those involved like we used to in the old days. To be clear, that's the president of the United States suggesting that the government should execute these whistleblowers. Trump also suggested that any effort to oust him could lead to a civil war. Trump tweeted a comment by Robert Jeffress, the so-called pastor.
That's insane. You guys realize who this man is?
If the Democrats
this man is the Antichrist.
Removing the president from office, it will cause a civil war-like fracture in this nation from which our country will never heal.
At all?
Columnist
not that hard. Daniel
Brown said, Trump even broaching this as a possibility is disturbing and provides yet more evidence of his truly twisted and selfish way of looking at things. And another tweet here, this is what he wants from you Republicans. He literally wants you to fight and die in a bloody civil war to bail him out of the mile-deep mine shaft that he's dug with his lifetime of bottomless corruption. That's how he sees you, a human shield for him, worthless in itself. In other words, Trump is, he just wants the Republicans to help him and save him, save his neck. He doesn't care about them. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. Even by Trump's standards, now this is a tweet by National Review's David French, and this is a conservative magazine, let's face it, National Review. Even by Trump's standards, this is a remarkably irresponsible tweet. The impeachment inquiry should focus not just on his abuse of power, but also on his fitness for office. This is repugnant. In other words, here's this David French, this conservative columnist, is saying, Trump is not fit for office and should be impeached for that, beside the fact that he's abused his power. Now, what I want to say here is, the Bible says that Satan comes to kill and destroy, and this is Satan's man, the Antichrist, Donald Trump.
This is who they honored him as last year, if you do not recall. You guys recall this? This giant image that was made to the beast himself. Look, crowned as Caesar on his head. Caesar, ruler of Rome, the fifth Roman Empire. The fifth empire, which is the Roman Empire. That's what it is, and it's the empire that had, it's the beast that had a mortal wound which was healed. Rome ended a couple thousand years ago, almost, and that's when it received its mortal wound. And since then, the Roman Catholic Church has kept its rulership alive, and that rulership has spread to the United States, because the United States is a part of the District of Columbia. Washington, D.C. is the District of Columbia, which is one of 3 districts. Second being the Vatican Rome, the third being London. So you have the financial arm of the beast, the religious arm of the beast, and the military arm of the beast. And Trump, the President of the United States, is known as the leader of the free world. He always has been. at least in my lifetime, that is. And he commands the most mightiest military force on the planet. He is that fifth beast in Daniel, the beast which tramples the whole earth and stamps the residue with its feet. He is the little horn of Daniel 9. He is that little horn which speaks great boasts and exalts himself against all that is called God and against the Most High himself. This is the one who will commit the abomination of desolation after Jerusalem is fully up and going again, and their cup of abomination is full through their sacrifice to dead idols, rejecting their true Messiah. Who is soon to return and pay everyone according to their deeds. If you are righteous, you will be rewarded with righteousness. If you are evil and wicked, you will be rewarded with death. That's the way sin works. Sin leads to death, the law of sin. But Jesus Christ freed us from the law of sin and death and made us alive unto the law of liberty and the law of life, the law of love, which can only be obtained through Him. He is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through Him. And that's the truth. That's just the bare bones truth. And when you believe that He did it, He lived the perfect life and died in your place on your behalf for the penalty of your transgressions against God, the Creator, your Father, the one who created you. Your transgression, even in your ignorance, you transgressed. It's something that we all have to face. He is the only way. It's only through believing in Him and what He did. And you have to understand that these rulers of the world, of this day and age, they all reject Him. Go back and listen to the interviews that Trump did during the elections when he was asked if he's ever repented and asked for forgiveness through Jesus Christ for his sins. And he will tell you in that interview that he has not. And he doesn't see it that way. He doesn't see the need to repent. He thinks that his life is good enough. He doesn't see the need to ask for forgiveness at all, ever. He never has and he never will. That's his words in a nutshell. Never has, never will. And he did it in such a way that he just kind of blew it off. And nobody really paid too much attention to that. And it's one of those things that just kind of got swept under the rug. Nobody really knows about that interview since it happened. I watched it live. I knew something was up during the elections. I knew it. I've watched this thing unfold. For 3 years I've watched it unfold. He's been president 2.5. I knew something was up way before he became president. And we're encroaching on the end of his first term. He's going to stay in power in his second term. He's either going to get reelected or stay in power. That's what he's going to do. Look at who they've made him out to be. See his sword in his hand? with those Twitter birds. That's how he convinces his followers, is through his Twitter. The people who believe in Trump, they follow him on Twitter. That's his sword. He just puts words out and people believe it. The left says this and